Hey gang, John Baccarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Thursday, January 23rd. Water temperature at Belle Isle is frozen, 32. All the shore access sites are frozen, fishable, and all but Crocker had machines running out of them today. I should say all the ones that I checked. I did not go all the way up to the north end of the lake. It was kind of pointless. Fairhaven is locked up good and solid. Machines have been running since last week out there, and I had heard that there were parking some vehicles on the ice last week, and if that's true, then I'm sure there's going to be a lot more vehicles being parked on the ice this week up in the Fairhaven area, because I'm getting reports of more than 12 inches of ice up there on that end of the lake. So that should open up a lot of parking if that is the case, for everybody wanting to go up there. It also means that it is going to be like a three-ring circus up there on that end of the lake, with snowmobiles and four-wheelers and side-by-sides and mini bikes and lawn tractors and just about every other contraption that people can get out on the ice, because it seems like that's what they like to do on the ice, is just drive crazy machines out there. So I'm assuming that that's going to be the case up on the north end, and will be for the rest of the winter until we get to the point where the ice starts to get scary, which hopefully will be quite a long time from now. Well, let's just talk about places that I did go and stop and look at, because that end of the lake is frozen now. Yes, they're catching some fish up there, but yes, it is going to start to become a challenge to get away from all the noise on the weekends. During the week, you're going to be able to fish closer and tighter and probably not have as much commotion, but on the weekends, it's going to get pretty loud and obnoxious once you get past like 9 or 10 o'clock, I would imagine. So, places I did go, though, today to check the ice out, because we were not at that stage yet of driving machines on. So we'll start off at the Selfridge Air National Guard, or I should say the public access near the Selfridge Air National Guard base, which is at the end of M59. And they were driving machines out there on the ice today, this morning. And that's pretty amazing, considering that at the last report that I had, the guys were just starting to venture out there onto the ice. So we went from just venturing out to now they're driving machines. So that should open up a lot of opportunities for you guys on that end of the lake. And honestly, that end of the lake has not seen significant ice fishing pressure in probably 5 or 6 years. And it is froze smooth. Looking around out there, it was pretty amazing. Normally there's pressure cracks and heaves and stuff, and it was just continuous flat ice, about a 50-50 mix of snow and ice, especially from the little bit of snow that we got this morning. So it should be like really excellent conditions out there off of Selfridge. And that's for whether you're an ice fisherman or probably somebody with a snowmobile. Now, I'm not saying that the ice is safe for snowmobiles. I'm just saying that there were machines out there, so I'm going to assume that those guys are making smart choices and the ice is sufficient to hold machines. But I would think that you're going to be able to get out there and move around and spread out, and some of those areas that you haven't been able to hit in a long time, you're going to be able to hit. You should be able to get up into the corner over there by the barracks and or by the Air National Guard base and hit all those weed beds. So it should be a great place to get the guys to spread out and to hopefully find some good perch and some panfish up in the bay there. Coming back down further south, I stopped at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park, and they are now driving machines off of the day sail ramp. As of this morning, there were machines going out. That's another place that, as of last week, they were just really starting to walk out, and now we've got ice that's thick enough for these guys to drive machines on. They were not venturing as far to the south as Geno's as of this morning, but that doesn't mean that they can't. I just didn't see any machines down that far. So I went down to the end of Beacons Cove, checked the ice conditions out there, at least the view of the ice conditions out there, and pretty darn good continuous ice. Only a couple of heaves and cracks, none of which were open when I was looking out there, looking down towards the Crocker Road boat launch, or to the south. There was a couple of small heaves between where I was standing and the boat launch down there, but none of them were like continuous enough that you couldn't find a good place to get across. And as a matter of fact, there were some old tracks in the snow, in the ice, probably from that last warm-up going through, that people had made their way around from Crocker, around the corner and over towards Geno's. And then looking down towards Metro Beach from Beacons Cove, you could see that the guys were down there in front of Geno's, and there were people stretched out basically all the way up to the Metro Park. So again, I didn't see any machines right there, but I would guess that this weekend you're going to see a lot more traffic down on that end of the lake. It's only going to get thicker. We're going down to 8 degrees again tonight. It's been cold all day again today. So we're making ice. We're making ice continuously. We're going to make ice all of next week too. We really don't have any significant warm-ups, although it's going to get warm enough that the fishing conditions are going to be much more comfortable than what they've been this week, with the highs only in the single digits. So the weekend, I think we're going to have highs right around freezing, which is going to feel like a heat wave for a lot of you guys. Let's see, where else did I drive down to? I did drive, like I said, I drove down, I checked Crocker out, and there really wasn't any activity with machines going out there, but there were a number of cars that were parked there at Crocker. I'm sure some of them went around the corner over into the marina next door, and others were fishing out and around the corner over towards Geno's. So I did cut a hole at Metro. You guys know I like to go out into that basin area and auger a hole. So last week I'd gone out there, and I think the ice was around 5 inches thick. And I went out to that same area today, augered a hole, and it was 10 inches thick. So the ice has basically doubled in the last week. So if you were out ice fishing last weekend, you can expect the ice most likely to have doubled or even more in the areas where you're going to go. So if you spudded through easily last time, you're not going to be spudding through that easy this time, and you might want to consider bringing an auger out. If you're going to be venturing off into uncharted territories, maybe have one person bring a spud, but definitely bring an auger, because a lot of the ice thicknesses are getting up there to the point now where spudding a hole is going to be pretty labor intensive compared to cutting a hole with an auger. Now the fishing, like I'd mentioned before, they're getting fish up in that north end. We have had reports of limits of perch up there in the Fairhaven area. But honestly, a lot of the best fishing has been coming down around the Metro Park. The guys are still going out, and some guys are getting limits. Some guys are getting just nice batches. Some guys are only getting, 10 to 12 perch, but they're getting some really nice fish out there. And then there's also guys that are out there that are getting some really nice mixed bags, like my buddy, like our very own Spencer, I think, who might still be out there right now if he hasn't finished his limit off yet. But he was out there today. He already had, I know he had one perch over 14 inches, one at 13 and a half, a number of other really nice perch, and several really nice walleyes. And that has been kind of the theme all week long, even in the bitter cold. The guys that have been going out off of the Metro Park between Metro and Geno's have been catching perch and walleye in very good numbers, and they're quality fish. And the depth ranges have been kind of all over the place. We've had reports of guys getting perch limits in as tight as 2 feet of water, or an inch or a foot and a half of water, and walleyes in as tight as 6 feet of water, and then guys that are fishing out in 10 and 12 feet, like where Spencer is right now. So it's a mixture out there. You've got a couple of jams out there you can go fish. You have a lot of opportunities right now, and I think you're just going to continue to have more and more opportunities. I've tried to get good satellite images, but as you've seen with all the snow cover and the snow squalls and everything, that's been next to impossible. But the lake is pretty much ice covered right now, other than places like Harley Ensign, where the Clinton River comes out, maybe the mouth of the spillway, any place where you've got some significant current breaks, or out near where the channels are coming in. So the lake is pretty much froze up now, as much as I've seen it in many years, and we're just going to continue to build thickness all the way through. Weather forecast looks really good. Like I said, for this weekend, we're going to have a little warm-up. It's going to get really cold tonight, and then we're going to have a warm-up going into the weekend that should spur these fish on even a little bit more, even though they've been biting even during that crazy cold weather we had all week. I think the bite is going to pick up significantly going into the weekend, and you guys ought to have, you know, a great weekend out there catching fish. That snow cover is going to help as well. It's also going to make it a little darker down there for the fish. They're going to feel a little more comfortable, and it's also going to quiet things down up on top of the ice with that little bit of snow cover. It's going to insulate just a little bit to kind of keep it a little more quiet. Shouldn't be tough walking, shouldn't be tough for the ATVs. There could be a little bit of drifting going on out there in and around the jams, but really conditions should be really, really good out there. Might want to have some ice cleats because you got about a 50-50 mix out there right now of snow cover and glare ice, and that glare ice is really slick. So you're going to probably want to have some cleats for dragging sleds and dragging shanties out there. But guys have been catching fish on bead spoons. They've been catching walleyes on ripping wraps. Let's see, ripping wraps, Swedish pimples, jigging rapalas, dew jiggers. Pretty much all your favorite baits out there have been producing fish. And beaded spoons for the perch obviously has continued to be a good way to go. Guys I know are fishing. What are they? The automatic fisherman type. I'm drawing a blank right now. But nope, not tip ups. Jaw jackers. That's it. Guys have been fishing jaw jackers out there for a mixed bag of both perch and walleyes. Yeah, so the fishing's been really good. Ice conditions are great. Only going to get better. So get out there, enjoy it. It's been a long time since we've had a season like this, getting off to this great of a start. Just got a fresh load of sleds at the store, so if you need a sled, we should have you covered. We should have plenty of them to get us through the weekend, and if I need more, I'll get more, kind of thing. So hopefully we'll see you at the shore. Get out there and at the store this weekend, get out and enjoy it. Hey gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.